In this video, we are going to be looking at the Vanguard Spearhead from the brand new Space Marines Codex. Well, Jake, talk to me. What do we get from being a Vanguard Spearhead?
Well, Michael, we get a plethora of things. We get 4 enhancements, 6 stratagems, and a universal rule we get for our whole army.
Nice.
And which is Shadow Masters.
Cool.
So this is each time a ranged attack targets an Adeptus Astartes unit from your army, unless the attacking model is within 12 inches, you subtract 1 from the hit roll and the target has the benefit of cover.
Very nice.
So really good there. So if we sort of analyse this a bit more, I like to think of this as like a built-in take cover strat.
Yes,
all
it
the
is.
time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which is amazing. Really can, on this surface, if we just were to look at this attachment rule, you would assume the Vanguard Spearhead would be your more sort of gunline approach, right?
Yes.
Because if you think the further away you are, the better your benefits are. But as we sort of go into this, you'll notice maybe that's not as it seems.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. So cover obviously fantastic, especially good on power armor saves like Space Marines have. 3 up, even better on 2 up saves.
Yeah.
Then -1 to be hit. Absolutely fantastic. It saves you spending command points on pop smoke, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and as we'll sort of go in with this attachment, we've got a plethora of stratagems we want to be using our CP for rather than a simple, like going to ground.
This is very true.
But before we continue, I'd like to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, The Outpost. If you're looking for great deals on your miniatures, paints and gaming supplies, we've got you covered. Their wide variety of exceptional service makes them the go-to destination for all hobby needs. So don't wait, check out The Outpost today. Link in the description below.
Shall we hit the enhancements first?
I think we should, Michael.
Okay, what's the first enhancement?
I think we've got to start with a big hitter.
Okay.
Right. This one is called the Blade-Driven Deep. So simply put, an Adeptus Astartes infantry model only. While the bearer is leading a unit, models in that unit have the infiltrator's ability. Now, really strong this. Really strong.
It's pretty good.
So if we think of this just basically on the surface, infantry model, so that could be anything. That could be a captain, a lieutenant, a librarian, a terminator captain,
Tech Marine,
a tech marine, anything really. Right? Anything. So that's really good. But it's more the enhancement more is sort of the power of it, I think, more is defined by the units that this man is going with, right?
Yeah.
So again, if we look at it from the perspective of if we put it on a Terminator captain, we can put it in the unit of Terminators.
So you could infiltrate Terminators and set them up 9 inches away from the enemy.
Yes. Which is insanely strong, right?
Yeah.
You could put this on aggressors with a Biologus, or even your the new Assault Intercessors.
Yes.
With jump packs.
Yeah.
So again, there's a whole plethora of things you can do with this, but I think it's fair to say this is probably one of the best enhancements.
It is probably one of the best enhancements in the book.
Yes.
This is fantastic as well. If you've got named characters, epic heroes, that are captains or chapter masters, then you can take a lieutenant or a biologist or a ancient alongside the captain, and you can give the ancient this enhancement, and now the entire unit, including your epic hero, could be Calgar, get to infiltrate with the whole unit. So incredibly potent on like some of those named character big wombo combo units.
Yeah, there's a certain unit that really, well, there's 2 in fact that really sort of stretch out to me with this.
Okay.
One of which being the Deathwing Knights from the Dark Angel Army.
Yeah.
More of maybe an obvious one here for all the people that sort of have been looking at this attachment and thinking, slow moving unit starting 9 inches away from your deployment zone would be very scary.
Yes.
One for me I really like.
Okay.
Is 20 Black Templar Crusaders. And it's for the reason you've sort of stated, right?
Yeah.
So you've got the Castellan who can go in the unit.
Yes.
And you can put a Hellbreak in that unit.
Okay.
So then you've got this really hitty hero, this massive unit, that can start 9 inches away.
Yeah, lethal hits on 5s because of Hellbrecht and the Castellan. That is a scary unit. I think this enhancement is really pushed to the limit when you start looking at these Codex supplement sort of armies. Like your Blood Angels, getting a jump pack unit in there early. As you say, your Black Templars, your Dark Angels, even Deathwatch, pushing one of the kill teams into your opponent early on is very, very strong.
Yeah.
And Space Wolves as well.
Yeah,
so you got,
I think there's a plethora of stuff to choose from here, and I think really depending on how you want to utilise or play your army is what you're going to be seeing in this enhancement, right?
Yeah.
But let's move on to another one.
Okay.
Because we can't just.
Do we really need to? I mean,
do you know what? I think we do because
Okay.
there is some fantastic other ones as well.
Okay.
So Ghostweave Cloak.
Right.
That's the next one. So you pick any Adeptus Astartes model. So again, because it's enhancement, it has to be a hero.
Yeah, cool.
And the bearer has stealth and lone op.
Very nice.
So super good. Main things that really stand out for me for this, maybe a captain, a jump pack captain. So you could use him as like sort of a like a attacking piece.
Yeah,
so
very
he
nice.
can sort of fly over, hit some people, do all that. A captain in Phobos armor.
Yeah, so we need to talk about him in this attachment, don't we? Because he has the ability to let you redeploy 3 Phobos or scout units after you've determined who's going first.
Yes, which is massive.
And I dare say it auto-include in this detachment.
I believe so as well. And, you know, not just because of how powerful Lone Op is, we've spoken so much on the channel in the member side as well, you know, about how important Lone Operative is in this game. So so the ability to be able to pick who your Lone Op is insanely good, right? Another Lone Op I really like is a Gravis Captain. If you want to just to bunker on the backfield with half damage as well. Just super tanky.
I like it.
But I think the main winner is the Captain of Phobos.
Yes. Yeah, agreed.
Next, we've got Execute and Redeploy.
Okay.
This is more of a niche one, but still I think has a lot of play. So this is a Phobos model only. In your shooting phase after the bearer's unit has shot, if that unit is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy models, units, it can make a normal move up to 6 inches. If it does so, it's not eligible to charge this turn, and you can only move it once.
Right, that's in there because the Lieutenant in Phobos armor lets you move after you've shot.
Yeah, so you can't do it twice.
Exactly, and you've got eliminators as well that can take a gun to move after they've shot too. So if you worked it right, you could have if they didn't have that clause in there, you could move 3d6 after shooting.
Well, this is just a flat 6.
That's flat 6.
So this is super good. I think main things that really stand out for me for this is Phobos Librarian in a unit of infiltrators. So you can infiltrate up. And then you can shoot something, then move away. And because of his ability, he essentially gives his unit Lone Operative.
That's right,
So you can just combo with that. So you know that you can get just within 12, move 6, so then and then you got to know that your opponent has to be able to move 6 to be able to shoot them.
Okay, so best unit for me across all the codexes. Spectrus Kill Team for the Death Watch.
This is
because this is 10 Phobos Marines. You got 2 suppressors in the squad, 2 eliminators. And they've got infiltrate built in, and scout 6. So you could have this model in the unit, and then they could infiltrate 9 inches away, scout 6, be 3 inches away. You could shoot, and then you can move again to set up a move block.
Oh, wow.
Alternatively, play defensively, move out of a terrain piece, shoot, move back into a terrain piece. And you could have a couple of units doing this because you could have the enhancement here on a Libby, and you could have the Lieutenant in Phobos armor doing it for a different unit.
So you've got 2 very good combos here. So again, like I said, a more of a niche one, but but like Michael has stated, and expertly so, once you sort of get into it, you actually notice there's a lot more things you can do it on. And the final one, I think we all sort of know and love it. Once I start saying it, it will become more apparent. This is called Shadow War Veteran. So this is Phobos model only. Once per game, after your opponent has used a stratagem, the bearer can use this enhancement. If it does so until the end of the battle, increase that stratagem cost to your opponent by 1. So as we would know per the match play balance data slate, you may only use this on battle tactic stratagems.
Very nice.
But there's still a fantastic plethora of units to use this on. It means that if you didn't have enough points for maybe a Calidus Assassin, which is normally what we see in Imperium armies for that same ability, I'm going to call it a Vect from now on. That's sort of how we're going to sort of denote this. It means that if you don't have enough points to take a Calidus, you can take this instead. Equally, you can take a Calidus and this. Double Vect.
You could double Vect, You can use that on the same enemy battle tactic as well.
Which would be very scary. So overall, I think this is another fantastic enhancement. I think if I had to put, there's 3 amazing enhancements in here. Or even we could say 2 amazing, 1 game-changing enhancement. And then I think sadly Execute and Redeploy sits at sort of the bottom of the barrel. But it still has a lot of uses.
I think I could see this being swapped with the Ghostweave Cloak depending on what units you're running. But Shadow War Veteran's fantastic. It's very expensive though.
Yes. It is.
But because the damage and AP, there's no way to really boost a lot of that in the stratagems. So getting some of your combat units to hit a bit harder, get through maybe an Armour of Contempt that your opponent has. By using Shadow War Veteran, that's quite valid.
Exactly that. So so they're fantastic. So again, just to reiterate, Blade Driven Deep is probably the most amazing one.
Infiltrator unit of any kind.
Borderline game changing. Then the 2 amazing ones I'd say is Ghostweaver Cloak, so the Lone Op and Stealth.
Fantastic.
Followed by Shadow War Veteran for the Vect, and then finally Execute Redeploy to move after you've shot. So fantastic 4 great stratagems, enhancements there. But let's move on to
those stratagems.
Let's take a moment to appreciate appreciate Colourforge, our fantastic sponsor. Their range of spray paints has become our go-to for making our miniatures come to life quickly and efficiently. The quality and variety of colours they offer are truly unmatched, providing a smooth application for stunning effects every time. Check out Colourforge for your next hobby project.
What is the first stratagem?
So the first is a deadly prize.
Okay.
Okay, so this is very key when you use this. It says the start of the command phase.
Okay.
So yours and mine in this instance. So you could use this, so that you could use this in any start of any command phase.
Okay.
Okay. Whoa, very good. So what this does, so you target an Adeptus Astartes infantry or mounted unit that is in control of an objective marker.
Yeah.
So that objective marker is said to be sabotaged.
Okay.
And remains under your control even if you have no models within range of it, until your opponent controls it at the start of the end of any turn. So essentially, this is like a sticky objective.
Sticky objectives, right? Okay, but you can use it in your opponent's command phase.
Yeah. So this is very similar to the demon stratagem,
right?
The tainted ground strat. So that this is, I believe, this is now the only other army that has that type of way to sticking objective.
Wow.
So again, absolutely fantastic. You would use this already. The first part of this we're going to be using if we know we're going to be shot off an objective.
Yeah.
If we think that maybe we want to do some cool shenanigans with potentially moving, as we'll go through with other stratagems.
Yeah.
But there is a second part to this. So while an objective marker is sabotaged and under your control, each time an enemy unit ends a normal, advanced, fallback, or charge move within range of the objective, you roll a dice. On a 2+, the unit has D3 mortal wounds.
Okay, so you have to control it, but you can do mortal wounds if someone tries to get close.
And it's each time.
Each time. So they could end a move within range, take more D3 mortals. Yeah. Charge, and the charge moving range, take D3 mortals.
Yeah, providing you still have control of the objective.
Right. Okay.
Now, this is really key because you could, implement tactics of, maybe bundling a big unit on one objective to really hold it.
Right.
And to make it even more hunkered down, use this stratagem. So then, okay, if you get shot off of it, you still have it. But equally, if they want to charge you on it, they're going to be taking more wounds.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really strong. Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
So I think this is a great stratagem, and it's war gear strat as well, so you can't vec this.
You can't vec this, and you can't use it for free.
Yeah. So bit of tit for tat there. But one you can use a vect on, or equally a free strat on, is this battle tactic. So strike from the shadows.
Okay.
This is a stratagem I really like, and sort of actually really benefits you playing that sort of long range play style like we alluded to.
Yep.
So one Adeptus Astartes infantry unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot in your shooting phase.
Okay.
Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes a ranged attack that targets an enemy unit more than 12 away, you add 1 to your ballistic skill and armor penetration characteristics. And if one or more enemy models are destroyed as the result of the attack, you must take a battle shock check.
Right.
So if we were to look at this in maybe a mirror matchup, this is essentially the adverse effects of what your Shadow Master give you. Because it will give you back your +1 and next AP. Fantastic ways to get around going to ground, armor of contempt, all these sort of things.
Yeah. Great for pushing a unit as well, I think. I think because it's a ballistic skill +1, if someone's got +1 to their hit as well.
Feel like heavy or something.
If you're heavy, because a lot of the heavy weapons Space Marines have are a native ballistic skill 4+.
Yeah.
So now you can ballistic skill 3+, stand still, +1 to hit with heavy. You're hitting on 2s. I really, really like that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think main units that really will be seeing the benefits of these stratagems is things like maybe Inceptors.
Inceptors are great for it. Yeah, it pushes those bolters, doesn't it?
Yeah, they can also turn up pretty much like they can turn up 9 away or 3, but you're going to be 1/12, and your gun's 18 inches anyway. So you're not put off by if they have a 12-inch deep strike denial because you want to be over 12 anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I love this strat. I think it's super, super good, and the other bonus of it is you make them take battle shock checks.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, to be honest, it's even good on things like Terminators.
Yeah.
Like getting all those Storm Bolters to AP1, your Cyclones, you're getting everybody to hit on 2s. There's a lot of infantry units I can see this being incredibly powerful on.
I think it's super great. Along with the next stratagem, Armor of Contempt. We know this one, we've said this one so many times, but just to give you an overview, just in case, this is a battle tactic stratagem. Your opponent's shooting phase or the fight phase just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. One Adeptus Astartes infantry unit from your army that was selected as a target of one or more of those attacks. Until the end of the phase, each time an attack targets your unit, you worsen the AP by 1. We've spoken about this so many times on the overviews and the detachment reviews. It's a fantastic stratagem, and every detachment has it, and it's great.
Yeah, it's especially good in this one, and the perfect example is something with a 2+ armor save.
Yeah.
So if you've got a 2+ armor save and you've got cover, and someone shoots you with AP1, you've still got a 2+ armor save. If you've got a 2+ armor save and cover and armor of contempt,
AP2.
If someone shoots you with an AP2, you've still got a 2+ armor save.
Which is looking like the sort of average in the game, isn't it? AP2 to AP3. So, so again, Terminators, you got to love this one.
Yeah.
So that Captain's free battle tactics strat may be used for this.
Yes, very nice.
So yeah, love it. Next, we've got Calculated Feint.
Faint, yeah.
Feint, yes, very good. No one's fainting, luckily. But it is very calculated if we
Well, you know those Space Marines, they do like to...
Oh, that's what they do. They just play pretend to die.
Yeah.
They don't actually die. Your opponent's charge phase just after an enemy unit has...
You know what it actually means. Okay.
just to be clear, before the comment. I can see your comment now. Stop typing. Delete it. Continue with the video, please. Just after an enemy unit's declared a charge, one adept has started infantry unit from your army that was selected as a target of that charge. Now, just before I state what the effect does, this is our first instance of seeing a difference between using this on one unit or another.
Okay.
So as an example, we can make a D6 normal move.
Right.
However, if we're Phobos or Scout, we just make a flat 6-inch move.
Right. Someone tries to charge your unit.
Yes.
Let's say it's a 7-inch charge.
Yeah.
We now move. It's a 13-inch charge, and they can't charge you.
Yes. They can reallocate the charge. It's fair to say.
Yeah. If it's no longer
possible. So one of the tactics you can use for this is just putting them in 12.
Right. So they have to make an 11.
Yeah. Or on the edge, so then the charge is way harder for them.
Yeah.
But equally, if you need to just get a unit out of dodge, you can. Fantastic that you can use it on flat 6 on the Phobos. That makes that living unit, like we said, really hard. It's not only is it low knock, the moment you get near it to try and charge it, it's going to leave.
Yeah.
But equally, the fact you can just use this on any unit and it's D6, really good as well.
Yeah, really good. If you've got Terminators and you're worried about a charge, just step back a few inches. Yeah. You can set yourself up against a wall.
Yeah.
So that your movement in your next turn is good, but then if your opponent decides to charge you, minimum you can be an inch from the wall.
One of the things I like for this one actually as well is actually using it to put more models on an objective.
Nice.
Because it just says you can make. It doesn't say you have to go away. It just says you can make a normal move. Yeah. So you could use this to maybe get a few models on another objective to contest for some OC. You could use this maybe to even block them off of the objective so then they can't charge onto it.
Yeah, you could.
So that's how I really like it as a strat.
You could, if they've got 2 units that want to charge 2 different targets, you could move and get in the way of the other unit. Yeah, so that now both of their units have to charge just your one. Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
So there's
a lot you can do there.
Yeah, fantastic stratagem. I think, again, one for the sort of more intense thinkers out there. And I think that's really a testament to the Vanguard Spearhead.
Yes.
This is a very tacticky, tricksy detachment.
Yeah, unless you just stick 10 Deathwing Knights and infiltrate. Then you don't have to worry too much.
Oh, yes. There's also that. Next, we've got Surgical Strikes. This is 2 command points.
Okay.
So this is our first 2 command point stratagem we've seen here, but it is a battle tactic, so we could use this for free.
Right, so realistically, we're probably just using this for free.
Yeah. But if you need to, it's 2 CP. If it's there, equally, it can be vected. I don't know how often this could be vected, but it depends on if you have.
If it gets vected once, you're probably not using it again.
And this stratagem is really good. So fight phase, one of your adepts has started infantry units from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, all of the melee weapons in that unit have precision.
Okay.
So if we look at the sort of core rulebook equivalent of this is Epic Challenge, but that's only your character gets precision. Yes. This is now your whole unit gets precision.
And it's any infantry unit? It's not even like Phobos?
No, just one adept started infantry unit, Deathwing Knights.
Yeah, I mean, this is even interesting on if you've got the 2CP, an Assault Intercessor squad.
Yeah.
Going in, or Assault the Jump Intercessors, because they're a bit faster. Going in, just getting rid of like Necron's character, just to get them dead. And then the next time another unit goes in, there's no character to deal with, right? So actually what you could do here is you could have 2 charging units. The first one activates this, gets rid of the character that's giving out a feeling of pain. Then the second unit does a ton of damage and kills the unit.
No, I like it. I think, again, it's a fantastic stratagem for 2CP. Again, very situational. Like, again, it's amazing for a unit to go into like an Abaddon. Like someone who is, a very sort of core piece in an army.
Yes.
And you just know that, yes, you're having to spend more CP on this, but the whole unit should be able to fight that character, which pretty much means in most instances you'll die. Right?
Yeah, most of the time,
So I think it's great. And then finally, we've got a personal favourite stratagem of mine.
Okay.
I love these types of stratagems when I was playing my Demon Army. So any long-time listeners will know what we're sort of on about. Yep. This is Guerrilla Tactics. So end of your opponent's fight phase. Yes. You can pick up to 2 Phobos units and or Scout units, or just 1 Adeptus Status infantry unit. So again, another instance of if you have Phobos, it's a bit different.
Yep.
And you can remove them from the battlefield and then into strategic reserve. The only caveat of this is you cannot select a unit as a part of this stratagem if they are within 3 inches of an enemy unit.
Right, okay.
Bit of counterplay to this.
Yeah. So you can get within 3 inches to stop someone doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So you could run like a lone, like if you've only got like a few models left and you want to sort of like do a gun line, you could like string them out in such a way so you know that none of these are going to get picked up.
You throw a transport over to something like that.
A lone character, even. So I think again, it's a fantastic stratagem nonetheless. The fact you could use this on 2 Phobos units and/or 2 scout units.
And it's Phobos units. Even though it's Adeptus Astartes infantry, it's Phobos units. You could tactical warsuit.
You could,
take it off the board and come back on.
Yeah. So so that's super good. I think overall the stratagems I think are great.
Yeah.
I don't think they're the obvious raw damage that we're seeing in a lot of the other stratagems like Iron Storm or anything like that. But for the like I said, the more intellectual thinkers out there, or for people that want to play a bit more of a tricksy style, this has a lot of tools that you could have. A lot of tools,
right? Or you could just infiltrate 10 Deathwing Knights.
Exactly. Or 20 Black Templar. I'm a fan of the 20 Black Templar
20 Crusaders, with Hellbreath.
Or even some Sangard or something. So in the comment section, real quick, let us know what you want.
What you think is the most powerful thing to infiltrate.
And now for a word from our sponsor, C Studios. They are the experts in providing professional miniature painting services, ensuring your armies always look their best on the battlefield. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or just starting out, C Studios can help bring your miniatures to life. Don't miss out on their quality craftsmanship.
That is the detachment, really, Michael.
Fantastic.
We've got a few sort of key units I do want to speak about before we talk about the list.
Okay.
So let's talk about Inceptors first off. So we've mentioned them. A really powerful shooting unit in the Space Marine army. Has a whole plethora of things it can do. It can turn up outside 3 inches if it needs to. You could have it come over 12 to use the stratagem support. It has.
What I like there is you can turn up 3 inches away from one of your enemy units. But actually the target you want to kill is 12 inches, and they've tried to hide and protect themselves, or make it so you have to drop within 3 and don't get your extra AP. But now you can drop wherever you like pretty much. And still be able to shoot the target you want to shoot.
And the other cool thing as well is like if you have to drop outside 12 for whatever reason, maybe they have infiltrators or similar abilities, you're not actually that worried because you're like, well, I can just use my stratagem, or I wanted to anyway. Another fantastic thing with this as well to note is that we've taken them off the table. They enter strategic reserve, so that means they can use their deep strike ability.
They can,
They could turn back up outside 3. So super, super good there. I love this unit. I think they're really good. Along with that, another unit I love is the just infiltrators, so any Phobos unit. I think is again really good in this codex. In this attachment. Assault insensitive jump packs.
Nice fast
I think
unit.
a bit underrated here, but I think all the same is still brilliant. You could infiltrate them if you need to. That goes for really any jump pack unit, I'd say.
Yes.
So
I think the best units to infiltrate is either one that's fast enough that no matter what, you'll hit something turn 1, or is durable enough that you know that no matter what your opponent does, they can't kill it turn 1.
So again, like the honourable mentions, we will say, as I've been saying for most of this video, definitely Knights.
Terminators infiltrating is super strong.
Crusaders, I think, have a really big place. I'll be interested to see if anyone does it. And actually, the other thing I want to give an honourable mention to is stuff like the Blister Dreadnought and the Gladiator Lancer. So things that really benefit from just being 12 inches away anyway. So then you're getting to use this attachment rule more.
You get that. You get the 2 up. Save, then cover, and then -1 to hit. So you win a prolonged firefight. Because you want to set these guys up to have that firefight with enemy tanks, and you should come out on top.
And I think as well, when it comes to doing the sort of this attachment, like I said, on the surface it looked like more of a shooting detachment. Then when actually we go to sort of look at the stratagems, you're like, well, I'm either having to be really close because I'm have to be in melee, but I've got tricks to take off the table, all this sort of stuff. So so they're my sort of units and honourable mentions. I think we should go into a list.
We should, yes, and I'll talk about a couple of units that I think are a bit spicy in this attachment.
We're grateful to have Frontline Gaming as our sponsor. They're a truly one-stop shop for all your gaming needs, from terrain and mats to an extensive range of miniatures in the United States. Plus, their community-focused events are known to foster what we call the Warhammer 40k spirit. So if you want to start playing an event and you're truly passionate about the game, then make sure you attend one of the next Frontline Gaming events.
Right, so the list we've got for you. So Michael, you've made this list.
I have, yes.
And you've decided to go with the Vanguard chapter.
I want to give you an example of kind of a thematic, very Phobos, sneaky Raven Guard style list.
Yeah, and if you couldn't tell, this is more of a Raven Guard themed detachment, so we thought it'd be fitting as well, right? So what have we got in the character slots?
So obviously we've got Caven Shrike,
Yes.
the chapter master of the Raven Guard. He is lone op himself, but also gives his unit lone op.
That is fantastic.
So he works quite well here. He's also got deep strike, and he can himself go into reserves at the end of your opponent's turn.
So you don't have to use the stratagem.
You don't have to use the strat, but you could use the strat on 2 other Phobos units. Then he's going in reserve, and 2 of your other Phobos units.
Okay,
so you can start putting loads of units into reserve.
I like that. I like that a lot.
He's going to lead 10 Vanguard veterans.
Nice. So a good sort of raw hitting power unit, very durable as well because they've got 4 up invul with their shields. Yeah, I like that.
Then we've got a captain with jump pack.
Nice.
I've gone with the blade driven deep here.
Okay, so you've got an infiltrating captain.
Got an infiltrating captain with jump pack, and I've given them some jump pack assault intercessors to lead.
Fantastic.
You could put the assault intercessors with Shrike if you'd prefer, depending on what you're hoping to kill turn 1. But you've got that. Go in, do a few mortals on the charge, maybe use the grenade strat, and then do some damage with the assault intercessors, and they're cheap.
Yes, and then equally if you need to, if they've cleared an area not within 3, you can just take them off the table at the end of your opponent's turn. Hopefully
And they do
they
strike.
survive it. Yeah, so again, another fantastic unit. I really like those 2 combos.
Yeah.
What else are we looking at for characters?
Captain Phobos armor.
Yes, very good.
Auto take for this attachment for me. And this guy I've given the Ghost Weave cloak.
Yeah, so he's lone op.
He's lone op. You can have him on your home objective, or you can attach him if you really want to.
Yeah.
So it lets you do the redeploy on the Phobos units.
Nice.
We've then got a Phobos Librarian, and they're going to be leading 5 infiltrators.
Nice, like that.
This is going to keep your objectives safe from any shooting and screen your side of the board against your opponent's secondaries and all that good stuff.
I like that, like that.
Difficult to interact with as well, because if you try and charge it, it just moves away.
Yeah, of course.
So
It's very
I don't actually think you can interact with that unit at all.
No, not at all. No.
Then we've got, so the Phobos Libby has the Shadow War Veteran enhancement.
Okay, so that's the Vect.
That's the Vect,
Yeah,
exactly.
nice.
So Shrike and the Vanguard Vets are only AP1. Well, Shrike's AP2, but the Vanguard Vets are only AP1. So actually when they go in and someone uses Armour of Contempt,
It's going to be
AP0, which is terrible. So being able to make that Armour of Contempt cost more, or any of those similar abilities usually are battle tactics.
Yeah, which is great.
Lieutenant with Combi Weapon.
Yeah, another person who's been turning up in a lot of lists lately since the sort of change to Oath.
Yes.
But also, again, fits this attachment theme really well.
Exactly. Then we have the Assault Jump Back Intercessors we talked about. I've got 2 Ballistas Dreadnoughts.
Nice. So again, really utilising the actual detachment rule here.
Yeah. These are going to pair up, and I'm going to have them set up so they can shoot any vehicles that might get quite annoying during the game. They should win the firefight when there's both of them shooting one target.
Okay, I like that.
You can, Inceptors are next. So I've got 6 Inceptors. I've gone with the Bolters for the 6.
Yeah.
Because once you start to pair that with Oath of Moment and Sustained Hits 2.
And then if you use the stratagem on them.
And then hitting on 2s with the stratagem with AP2, you could potentially get Plunging Fire.
Because essentially that way you're just sort of then fishing for 6s because you're hitting on 2s anyway.
Yes.
And you've got so many shots there. They're also twin linked. Again, they're not really losing out from Oath, not allowing you to reroll wounds. The extra AP is really good. They're also flat 2 damage.
They are flat 2 damage, yeah.
What can these guys not do?
It's a lot of damage. They're not great against vehicles, but they'll shred anything else.
Okay, cool. That's all right then.
Yeah. We then got 3 Inceptors.
Yeah.
These are like a mission play unit. I've given these plasmas. So they're a nice, like, reliable, kill this squad of intercessors or something, right? But I don't mind losing their shooting and just scoring points.
Nice.
We've mentioned the infiltrators. I've got 2 Invicta Tactical Warsuits.
Nice. Okay, so these are quite interesting. We haven't really seen these a lot. Very useful though.
Yes.
Very useful.
Yes.
And the captain will allow them to
Redeploy
if you need to.
They are Phobos.
And you can use the stratagem on them to leave the table.
You can, yeah. They've got Scout 8. They don't infiltrate.
Okay, nice.
So you can usually get into some mid-board terrain on most setups, especially here in the UKTC. And they've got some pretty decent combat punch.
Yeah.
Like AP2 damage 3, strength 14.
Oh, nice.
And then you can have flamers on them for a bit of screen clearance or overwatch potential. So they're a nice, tough unit to hold an objective.
I really like that, actually. Very underrated pick there, I'd say.
Yeah. So there's 2 of those. We've got the Vanguard Vets that Shrike is leading, and then a Whirlwind, just to inflict some battle shock tests and do some damage indirectly. Really useful for causing a battle shock test, and then the rest of the guys go in, we take an objective, etc., etc.
But equally, you know, just having that indirect, I think, is very underrated at the moment, especially because, you know, you're not really seeing like a lot of shooting here, other than, you know, like, yes, you have a lot of shooting, but nothing that really could deal with 5 dudes maybe hidden, you know, behind an objective, or like if they had the ability to move after you've done something like the Eldar, for example, with Phantasm. You want to turn up outside 3, you're on one side of the wall, there's Phantasm to the other side of the wall. So all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I love that army. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Really Raven Guard thematic there.
Exactly. That's what we've gone for. But you could go a step further.
Okay.
You could take this army to the next level, and there's lots of different chapters.
Yes.
That you could run this army in a very competitive way. And if you are interested in that, then you've got a couple of options.
Okay.
We have the Space Marine Masterclass, and it is out now. The link is in the description below.
Yes.
So get a hold of that. You're going to see every single detachment broken down. There's going to be a list and deployment overview for each one, as well as some of the top combos. Then every single chapter that's available, all 11 of them, your 9 founding chapters, your Death Watch, your Templars as well. So every single chapter we cover, and we do a competitive list for each one.
Exactly, fantastic. So great value.
Fantastic. Great value. Exactly. We've had amazing feedback so far from it. So definitely check that out. Alternatively, if you are playing Space Marines and you're new to the book and you want to kind of make sense of the 200 data sheets and 7 detachments, then you can always book in for a one-to-one call as well.
Yeah.
And we can run you through a list based on what you've got. We're not going to give you a shopping list. We want you to make the most of what you've got in your collection. So there's a couple of options for you.
Yeah, of course. And as I said, you know, thank you, Michael, very much for helping us, having the list, being a great co-host with me as well.
Thank you.
And guys, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment. If you have any questions as well, just put them in the comment section below. We'll get back to you as best we can. And equally, like Michael said, if you're interested in any of the sort of products we do offer in terms of helping you up your game with your Space Marines, all the links are in the description. And we'll see you on another video very soon.